minus
Can I give free period?
No. Should I take you for games?
Yes.
You want to go running outside?
No problem.
Yes, no problem. We have to.
इसको भगाओ पूरा
ये a truly beautiful one.
It's a lesson.
It's a lesson.
आज तक यूटी के इसमें किसी इसमें free period दिया है?
नहीं.
शाम है. Now let's create history.
Let's create history. So, when you think of a genius, what comes to your mind?
Me, myself,
A moment.
myself.
No, what a truly genius. Truly beautiful
Albert
mind.
Einstein.
Yeah.
There's a chapter in the textbook, right?
Yes.
Moments के रचूक में.
Behind him.
Page number
22.
22 नहीं है.
नहीं 47.
थोड़े को बदल.
ये हमने बोर्ड में कैसे बनाया था? Ma'am, we had a topic English for our board work.
A truly merciful mind.
Okay. So, when you think of a genius, what comes to your mind? Tell me.
Albert Einstein.
Yeah. Other than you, yourself.
Albert Einstein.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Christian. He's so smart. नहीं है भाई वो.
Genius.
होगा
You're
तो
talking about
Albert
genius.
Einstein is a genius. He's smart.
ठीक है.
Okay.
रामानुजन.
Okay, Ramanujan. So, what qualities do you think they had?
Mathematics.
Huge brain.
Huge brain.
Huge IQ. More IQ.
So, what did they were like?
They were like mathematician.
Well, they were smart.
Mathematician.
Still, Albert Einstein is not only mathematician. If mathematician में था ना.
Okay, they were smart and
They were intelligent, this thing.
Their calculation were
smart and
precise.
intelligent are two different things.
Okay.
Smart does not mean intelligent.
And their calculations were precise.
Sorry?
Their calculations were precise.
Okay, they were precise in their mathematical skills. Fine. Other than what qualities do you think? On a genius. What he
Ma'am,
must
they can
be in
answer
school?
any problem.
What he must have been in school?
Discipline.
Topper.
Very disciplined.
No, not.
Very disciplined.
Disciplined.
Not really.
You are an exception. You are a genius, but you are
No,
disciplined.
ma'am.
Ma'am,
Albert
able to
Einstein
answer
was-
all the questions and
So let's see what
the
Albert
questions.
Einstein
And
was.
university ना.
हाँ.
Einstein ने university की होगी ना.
नहीं भाई.
अरे क्यों होगी? university को ही था. वो सालों तक.
देखो पता तुमने पढ़ा है?
Albert Einstein was born on 14 March 1879 in the German city of Ulm. Without
City of
Ulm.
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 Without any indication that he was destined for greatness. On the contrary, his mother thought Albert was a freak. To her, his head seemed too large. Okay? So his mother never
Huge
thought.
forehead like my friend. Ma'am, he has 5 fingers. Not 5. More than 5 finger forehead. How come, ma'am?
इतना बड़ा मेरे अरे
नहीं.
यहाँ से
He's talking about his friend. He's talking about his friend.
अरे जैसे normally जैसे 1, 2, 3.
Can we read?
Yes.
So, his mother always never believed that he's going to be somebody genius, great man, all over the world, will be remembered and studied. She was a very sweet child. What a weird child. She also thought that his head was too big for his body. At the age of 2.5,
My mother used to think like this.
At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered everything twice. Einstein did not know what to do with other children, and his playmates called him boring, rather boring. So the youngster played by himself much of the time. He especially loved mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister, Maja, he is said to have said, "Fine, but where are her wheels?"
because he किताब में निकाली
mechanical toy.
He thought she was a toy. So that's why.
Where are her wheels? Can I find the key and will she start running? So, could not get along with the children of his own age because they found him utterly bored. They called him brother bored. He did not have any friends to play with, and therefore he always played by himself, alone. What did he enjoy playing?
Dependent.
A headmaster once told his father that what an Einstein choose as a profession would not matter because he will never make a success at anything. Einstein began learning to play the
How wrong he was, and
Yes.
how sad it is that he made such a judgment about a young child.
So that mother and father, they are like discouraging me.
No, it is the Einstein headmaster. The
Her
headmaster said
mother also said, what a freak child.
his mother would think his child is freak. He had
Special child.
IQ. He had far more IQ. So when you have either far less IQ or more IQ, you are little imbalanced in some way. So,
Say, I have more IQ.
That's why you're imbalanced.
पर more IQ तो है ना.
So, his headmaster also once told his father that, whatever profession he prefers, he chooses, it's not going to make any difference what profession he makes, what profession he chooses, because he's never going to have any profession. So his headmaster thought that he's good for nothing, he cannot make a living, he cannot have any profession of his own. Yes, continue.
began learning to play the piano at the age of 6 or rather at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. He later began a gifted
Amateur violinist.
maintaining this skill from his life. But Albert Einstein was not a bad
Pupil.
He went to
People you shouldn't, huh?
he went to high school in
Munich.
where Einstein's family
And amateur means beginner. Right.
He became a gifted amateur violinist.
Mature
means beginner.
Amateur means
Beginner.
young, amateur, young, beginner.
मैं amateur violinist ना, so beginner violinist.
You won't say exactly beginner, but yes, a young one. Yes, young, who has just started learning,
where Einstein's family had moved when
who's not expert.
he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. Einstein hated the school's regimentation and often clashed with his teacher. At the age of 15,
What is the meaning of regimentation?
Regimentation means
Laws.
see, the school has order.
discipline,
There are 7 periods, 9 periods, each period of the half an hour, 40 minutes. After this period, second period, third period, recess, fourth period, fifth period, games period, come here, short hair, uniform, no talking, all that regimentation, days after day, weeks after weeks, throughout the year. He hated it. He did not like that, following those rules. And therefore, he always clashed with his teachers. He scored good marks, but he could not get along with his teachers.
at the age of 15, Einstein felt so
Stifled.
there,
That.
that he left the school for good.
Okay, read. Why did he decide to leave the school
Because
at the age of 15?
And because he hated the school regimentation.
And he felt very.
Yeah, he often clashed.
He clashed with the teachers and also
felt
felt stifled.
Last time when we used to argue.
The teachers do not like him. तो भी वही करा है.
मैं वो नहीं कहा था.
तेरे को regimentation नहीं पसंद है स्कूल का.
नहीं, इसमें कोई शॉर्ट हेयर वाला पसंद नहीं है.
मेरे को पसंद है.
ठीक है. 2 मिनट में रेडी हो जाता और क्या चाहिए.
क्या?
2 मिनट में रेडी हो जाता.
Always.
देखो क्या चाहिए.
हाँ?
बंजी जंपिंग.
हाँ?
कुछ नहीं. तेरे में वो बन जाता है, क्या उसको बोलते ना, जंपसूट यार.
तू पढ़ यार. he was asking what kind of uniform do you want? If you don't want uniform, then what do you want to wear? Her own clothes. She prefers her own clothes.
I would uniform. That's way better.
Uniform?
पुराना uniform मेरे को better
कौन सा था?
dark blue, navy blue color का.
उसका ये तो फर्क था.
तो यार जाने दीना.
नीचे वही था.
मैं ठीक है वो.
Again, we are learning about Einstein. What are you discussing now? Read.
Finish.
Me?
नहीं.
The previous year, Albert.
अरे.
It's her turn to read.
हाँ तो ये बात तो sarcastic ही है.
Read.
The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and left
I'm Inter Milan. No?
Sorry?
Inter Milan.
Milan is a city.
City or country?
Milan
मैं पूछ रहा हूँ भाई. तू नहीं पूछ सकती.
उसको पहले पढ़ने थे फिर क्यों?
Okay,
मैं पूछती नहीं मर्जी.
Milan is a city. Milan is a city in Italy.
And left their son with relatives. After prolonged discussion, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland in a city which was more liberal than Munich. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics, and after finishing school, he decided to study at a university in Zurich. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with the walrus mustache.
Number 3 has not left the school, no?
He left the school. He did not want to study in school in Munich because they were not at all flexible. And therefore, the parents by then had moved to Milan. They had left him with the relatives. Then they convinced him. He said he doesn't want to go to school. Then they agreed that he will go to school in Switzerland, Zurich. There, because the schools there were much more liberal than Munich. What subjects he was highly gifted in? Which two subjects?
Mathematics and physics.
Yeah, mathematics and physics. And where did he decide to go after completing school?
Switzerland.
University of
Zurich.
Zurich.
Okay.
खड़ा है बगल में.
Good job.
When you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes. When you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours.
That's relativity. That's relativity.
No, ma'am. मतलब hot stove वाला समस्या पहले वो nice girl वाला नहीं समझ.
You haven't met a nice girl. Read. Your turn. Sorry? Einstein was very, very romantic.
Ma'am said this. English teacher.
Yeah, read. No, that's what it is.
He also felt a special interest
in a fellow student.
Mileva Malik, whom he found to be a clever creature. This young sir. Sir means Serbian.
Serbian, that's it.
Had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. And she saw in her an ally against. Ally means
a friend.
Oh, ally against the Philistines, those peoples in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. The couple fell in love. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. See? Wrote Einstein. How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion.
Ma'am, he wrote a small thing in a scientific way. So,
teacher को पकड़ भी नहीं पाएंगे इसको.
teachers क्यों नहीं पकड़ पाएंगे? मतलब he wrote.
उसका थोड़ा ज्यादा की आईक्यू है ना, सर वो साइंटिफिक टर्म में अगर लिख रहा है तो
Now, so that he was not in school. Okay, he was teachers when he was adult. But teachers don't mind. Teachers don't mind when you are in college or in
Ma'am, they know
university.
that it is going to happen. They know that it is going to happen sometimes.
So he had fallen in love. They wrote letters to each other. What was the name of the girl? Mileva Malik. Where was she from?
Switzerland.
Serbia. She was a Serbian girl. So, and why had she come to Switzerland?
For
To
study.
get her degree. And why
No.
especially Serbia?
Because
Because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women would get degrees.
लिख के बोलना पूरा.
There was that was the university which allowed women to study, okay, higher education. And you would say that I would be so proud if both of us exchange notes on relativity.
Ma'am, this sentence came, ma'am, अचानक से आना, ये sentence अचानक से आया कि the couples fell in love. हमको ये क्लास.
Oh my god.
ये रात में बजेगा क्या?
What's that?
Hello, hi madam.
मुझे लगा उसने लघु पकड़ा था, पहली बार मुझे लगा लघु के अंदर से आवाज आ रहा है.
नहीं उसने दे दिया मेरे को लगता है.
Oh, ये?
हाँ.
अच्छा.
उसको पैसे दे दूँगा.
मैं किसी के साथ नाटक कर रहा हूँ.
Okay, Philistines are.
We will read about this whole
Philistines are, there are some people who do not like art, they do not like literature. So,
Very easy topic.
so they don't know much about art and literature. They talk about normal, क्या खाना खाया, क्या खाया, what did you cook, where are you going, what clothes are you wearing. Okay. Now Einstein,
No.
he was really scared of us.
I'm scared of all of us.
Okay. Now Einstein, Einstein was not just a scholar of physics. He was a great violinist. He had great interest in art. He had great interest in literature, but he did not have many people to talk about these things. When he met Mileva, he realized she is very intelligent. She is great. She has great knowledge. Actually, the fact remains that he won his what do you call his first. No, 1 minute. His okay, fine. Let's read. First Nobel Prize. He won his Nobel Prize for his theory of relativity. Nobel Prize in
It's from
physics.
in 1900. In 1900, at the age of 21, Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed. He worked as a teaching assistant, gave private lessons, and finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. While he was supposed to be assessing other people's inventions, Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in secret. He is said to have jokingly called his desk drawer at work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics.
One of the
famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. From this followed the world's most famous formula which describes the relationship between mass and energy. E
is equal to mc square.
इसको ब्रेक पे ले रहे हैं.
क्या?
इसको ब्रेक लेके हो गया. which describe the relationship between mass and energy.
Okay. So, while Einstein was solving, yeah,
Yeah.
continue.
While Einstein was solving the most difficult problem in physics, his private life was unexamined. Albert had wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. She thought Mileva, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. She was always bothered by
Also bothered by
by
Mileva's intelligence.
She is a woman like you. His mother said. Einstein put the blame on. What is the problem with his mother?
You know, she's an intelligent woman. Why do you need an intelligent woman? You should marry a woman who will cook for you, feed your children. Why should you have an intelligent woman who talks about science and relativity? In fact, I happened to watch program on Discovery which said that Mileva was very intelligent. Now we are talking about the times in 1900. So she helped him a lot in his research for this theoretical relativity. Uh, he was doing all these odd jobs. Remember, he was a student teacher assistant, then he was a technical expert for a patent office in Bern, and his bureau where he was supposed to work. That is where he would keep on doing his calculations and his research. Okay, so therefore he calls it a bureau of theological science, physics. Sorry. His table was he called his table a bureau of theological physics. His wife was theoretical physics. His wife was also there, or rather Mileva, and they got married. And she was also working on the similar lines. It is said that it was her discovery which made, or she did the groundbreaking work, which helped him get get the success of this theory of relativity. Yeah, but it became very, very famous. He became so famous that he went on to win a Nobel Prize for this, but did not give the credit for the work that his wife had done. The research, her research, which actually helped him solve whatever he could do. And that
Why
was
did
very,
he
very.
give credit?
He did not give credit because why do you want credit? My credit is your credit. If I do well, then even Mrs. Einstein is good, right? Why do you want credit? So you should sacrifice. You're a woman. You should sacrifice everything for your husband. So therefore, she didn't have anything when she went out to show that she wanted to work. She didn't have anything to show the work as a research. What research did she do? Because whenever she would say that she worked for this, they said no. This work was done by Einstein. What did you do? And she became very, very frustrated because she was equally intelligent, um, but could not do anything and got stuck in the house where the mother-in-law was constantly nagging like, what, she's a woman, is she studying, what is she doing with works? So she was stuck with household chores, children, in a very, very frustrating environment. So an intelligent woman was wasted.
The pair finally married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. But a few years later, the marriage
Faltered.
faltered. Mileva, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual
Ambition.
and becoming an unhappy housewife. After years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1990. Einstein married his cousin. Answer, the same.
He didn't fully love Madhana.
He loved her.
But then he
He was a
married
selfish man. He was a selfish man. He took her help. She helped him a lot in his research. He did not give her any credit. There are very few who have given credit. Like there is only Madame Curie. You must have heard about Madame Curie.
No.
Marie Curie? Madame Curie? Okay.
No.
She is one of the few ones where she got the credit, the husband gave the credit for whatever research she has done, and she went on to win the Nobel Prize. She is a very rare case. Most of the cases are here like this. We are talking about 1900s. Even today, you go out as a woman, you will have to face struggle more.
Einstein.
Okay, read.
Einstein's new personal chapter coincided with his rise to world fame. In 1915, he had published his general theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity. An eclipse of the sun in 1919 brought proof that it was accurate. Einstein had correctly calculated in advance the extent to which the light from fixed stars would be deflected through the sun's gravitational field. The newspapers proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution. Einstein received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. He was showered with honors and invitations from all over the world and lauded by the press. When the Nazis came to power in Germany in 1933, Einstein emigrated to the United States. 5 years later, the discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin had American physicists in an uproar. Many of them had fled from fascism, just as Einstein had, and now they were afraid the Nazis could build and use an atomic bomb.
Okay, read.
Turn-
At the
Urging of
urging
a
of a colleague now,
Tell
Einstein wrote a letter to the American President Franklin D. Roosevelt on 2 August 1939, in which he warned a single bomb of this type exploded in a port might very well destroy the whole port together with some of the surrounding territory. His words did not fail to have an effect. The Americans developed the atomic bomb in a secret project of their own and dropped it on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1954.
45.
Oh, 45. Einstein was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction. This time he wrote a public missive to the United Nations. In it, he proposed the formation of a world government. Unlike the letter to Roosevelt, this one made no impact. But over the next decade, Einstein got ever more involved in politics, agitating
Agitating.
agitating for an end to the arms buildup and using his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. When Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76, he was celebrated as a visionary and world citizen as much as scientific genius. Genius.
This doesn't really show that he was a really big genius.
Well, such two great theories of physics. Two
But
great theories
उसकी
of
wife थी
physics.
ना,
Huh?
उसकी wife थी।
One of
No. It's not that it was his wife. She helped him. And one of the see, there are many things. So like ये calculation बराबर होना चाहिए. फिर इसके calculation की वजह से ये calculation की discovery होगी. So the one of the major जहाँ पे जो calculation उसको with something that he could not do, that's when she helped him. So because of that breakthrough, he could come to the final E is equal to mc square formula. So she had helped him in that, for which he did not give her any credit. And then he came with another theory of, what is that? A personal general theory of relativity. This general theory of relativity gave him the Nobel Prize in physics. So
He was mainly known as mathematician.
he was a mathematician and a physicist.
Physics
These
and
two
mathematics
are
related, है ना?
yeah. These two are theories of
Do we have to
mathematics,
study
physics. No?
this in our head studies of physics?
In physics, you will study theory of relativity.
See,
Yeah, two Einstein को करने की जरूरत
I mean, in which standard?
What?
In which standard?
11, 12. ये अभी 10th और वो सब में तो फिर
But I don't know if they have it, but yes. And then when the Nazis came in Germany, 1933, he escaped to United States, and that's when in
You like Nazi?
why would anybody like Nazi?
I like Nazi.
Yeah.
Yes.
तेरे सारे friends को
नाज़ी मतलब
Confidence.
How can somebody like Nazi? Nazis were the cruelest form of government.
he is Hitler.
Yes.
He is
Because they don't know anything about him, the kind of things they had done.
No, no, no.
हाँ सबको ना पूरी वर्ल्ड वॉर हिस्ट्री पता है
हाँ
तो क्या बताओ था उसको
देखो पता है?
Okay, and that's when here it so happened that in where is that? Okay,
Coffee का songs करता है सब
discovery of nuclear fission. So in Berlin, they wanted to make an atomic bomb, and they had successfully carried out the nuclear fission. They had discovered nuclear fission, and they were very close to making the nuclear bomb. And that's when Einstein wrote to Roosevelt that look, Nazis have managed to come up with nuclear fission. They are very very close to making a nuclear bomb. So, and this kind of a bomb is very very dangerous. If it is
can
exploded
destroy
in
a
a
whole fort and the
surrounding areas. Then they came to know that even America was trying to make, but Germans were far ahead of them. So there was something that the nuclear fission was they could manage, but there was one last part that was remaining and that required very big mathematical calculation. And neither German scientists nor American scientists could get that. That's when they called Einstein to help.
And there's a footballer who is great grandson of Hitler, Lewandowski.
कुछ भी.
हाँ, सच्ची में.
कुछ भी बोलता है
So
कुछ भी बोलूँगा यार.
क्योंकि ये related ये topic में बोल क्यों रहा है
सच्ची में है.
wow oh my god
सच.
no, that person is lying. If he had claimed himself, then he's lying. So that's when Americans called Einstein and Americans asked his help. Einstein said, I will help you, but I don't want my name anywhere attached to this because if I don't help you and if Nazis manage to come up with this calculation, successfully complete this calculation, get this calculation right, then they will come up with atomic bomb. And if they come up with atomic bomb, then there is no way we can defeat them. So Einstein's name was never attached with the making of atomic bomb, but everybody knows that the crucial point where they needed help, Einstein came to them.
For America or for Germany?
America. He was
But
in
he was
America.
living in Germany.
No.
भाग लिया ना वो
It's written here when Nazis came to power in Germany, he immigrated to US. And that's how Americans could use it on Japan in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Because Japan was against them. Japan refused to surrender. Japan and Germany were fighting together. The World War.
World War One.
Two.
One किसके बीच में हुआ था दिया?
Germany again.
नाजी से कारण
जापान का चल रहा था तो अमेरिका क्या कर रहा था
Germany and Japan together were fighting. The world was divided. Germany, Japan, Italy on one side, Second World War,
अभी
and
इसराइल
England,
और उसका
France,
पैलेस्टीन ईरान से लड़ा था तो इंडिया के बीच में है।
England, France, India बीच में आई नहीं।
Yeah.
England, France, and USSR on other side. England, France, America, Russia on other side.
सोवियत यूनियन आई लाइक सोवियत
वो रशिया
ये मेरे को लगा यूके युगांडा
It was Russia, part of Russia. Russia was part of USSR.
ये भाई क्या बोल रही है तू
Okay.
Level of irritation.
You talk a lot of nonsense.
ये भाई रोजे से
नाम ये पहले बोलना चाहिए था. Long back.
Okay, one thing. Who had these opinions about Einstein? First question goes to you. He was boring.
his fellow
Yeah, his fellow
इस फेलो में
playmates.
ओ
His fellow playmates.
Oh.
His playmates. Second, he was stupid and would never succeed in life.
इस
his principal headmaster something now
headmaster
He was a freak.
Me.
his mother
mother
her mother his mother
Only mother. Explain what the reasons for the following are. Einstein leaving the school in Munich for
because he
good.
did not like the regimentation of the school.
Then he
left the school and
he had
clashes with the teachers.
regimented
he told about regimentation and clashes.
That's why he left the school.
And plus
his
And the-
parents moved
leaving the school in Munich. Okay. Einstein wanting to study in Switzerland rather than in Munich. Okay, now let her. Quick, give the answers. Einstein wanting to study in Switzerland rather than Munich.
Because ma'am, it was the ma'am, because the University of Zurich was one of the few of Europe. No, that is for women, right?
he wished to continue his education in German speaking Switzerland in a city which was more
बिना लिखे
liberal
बोलना है.
than Munich.
Yeah, because the university
बिना
was
लिखे बोलना है.
more liberal than Munich.
तो बोल
मैं बुक पे नहीं लिख रहा है हमको.
नहीं नहीं देख लो चलिए.
एक न्यूट्रल है न्यूट्रल क्या है?
Einstein seeing in Mileva an ally. What is the reason? Why did he see an ally in Mileva?
Because
she was same like her and she was also a genius
Now what
student.
is an ally?
Ally means friend.
So Einstein didn't see a friend in Mileva.
Did see a friend in Mileva. Why did he see a friend in Mileva? Because
And because
she was
with her she was constantly at odds.
no.
She was a clever creature.
She was clever, fond of art and literature,
And
and he could always talk about and therefore.
And
She was intelligent.
thus or therefore.
Sorry.
Thus or
Therefore, she was intelligent. She was
She was
fond
smart.
of art, literature, and
I'm
intelligent.
asking all the questions.
I mean,
all the
Yes,
answers.
ma'am,
क्या
everyone
कर
can
रही
answer.
है?
Ma'am,
You
ये
can
पीछे
answer
मुझे
without
बोल
looking
रहा है.
at the book.
तू बोल रही है ना?
हम लोग की एग्जाम में तो मुझे क्यों टोकरा था?
नहीं मैं वो कहीं वाला तू भी वैसे बिना बीच में उससे बोल रही थी तो क्या तो
तू नहीं बोलता I feel without it.
मैं बिलीव ना.
What did Einstein? Now the question is for her, and she will answer.
मैम उसको बोला था वो उसने किया ही नहीं था तभी आंसर.
You don't give her a chance to answer. No, you don't.
Sorry.
Okay. What did Einstein call his desk drawer at the patent office?
What did?
Read the question 4.
Ma'am, let her answer.
He He called his desk drawer the work of
Bureau of
Theoretical physics.
yes.
Next can answer this one.
And why?
Why? यहाँ पे सब आंसर
Paragraph 8.
While he was
8th paragraph.
working at the patent office in Bern, he was developing his own ideas in secret. He
Is said to have the
and therefore he was developing his own ideas in secret, and all his calculations, all his work he carried out sitting on the desk, and therefore he called it the Bureau of Theoretical Physics.
Next can answer.
Why did Einstein write a letter to Franklin Roosevelt? Yes.
Ma'am, he wrote a letter to Franklin D. Roosevelt to warn him of a bomb in which he told. Wait. He wrote a letter to Franklin D. Roosevelt on 2nd August 1939, in which he warned that a single bomb of this type, that is the atomic bomb, when exploded in a port, might very well destroy the whole port together with some of the surrounding territories.
Okay. So before that, you will write that Berlin had the discovery of nuclear fission. There was the German scientist had successfully learned the nuclear fission.
fusion.
Fission.
Spelling?
FISSION.
In Berlin.
In Bern. Okay, so German scientists had discovered the nuclear fission.
That's why you want
He wanted to warn them about.
Yes. Therefore,
Because-
he wrote a letter
To warn.
to warn.
So you want the German people.
No, Roosevelt was the president of America.
States, America.
So he warned American. He wrote a letter to American president that Germany has reached a very major step towards coming up with a atomic bomb. So if they are successful, they have crossed a successfully crossed
Fission.
fission level,
And the last level.
more or less. Yes, not last, but after that.
लोग ऑलमोस्ट मिल ही गया था अमेरिका को नहीं मिला तो इसलिए वो लोग ये बोले कि वॉर को मत करो क्योंकि उससे हमारे लॉस होगा.
No, they said that they will come up with if they come up with a bomb, then that will be a major drawback for Americans.
No, we तो अमेरिका लॉस होगा.
So therefore, America must speed up the research and come up with the bomb first. Understood?
And then who came up first? America.
Even today, there are very few countries have the technology to have nuclear weapons.
And every country has it.
Has, but do not have the technology to make one. And every country does not have.
They buy.
They buy. So there are some 5 countries which has. It has this.
Yes, like this.
Yeah. अरे यार. Seriously, good.
Okay, next question.
मुझे से कहने देगा ये.
ठीक है कुछ नहीं.
How did Einstein react? How did Einstein react to the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
He was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction, and this time he wrote a letter to a public missive to the United Nations, in which he proposed the formation of a world government. That's it.
No, he was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction. He wrote a public missive to United Nations, and he proposed the formation of world government. That's it. Just it. Why does the world remember Einstein as a world citizen?
हाँ.
Answer.
Question.
Read the question. Question 7.
Ma'am, because he helped America.
No.
He was scientific.
Answer is world citizen. No, world citizen because
Because he
he
used to travel the
made
whole world.
He was a scientific genius.
It's a what is in this
first of
Because
all,
he proposed two very big physics theories.
world citizen because uh, he wrote a public missive to United Nations in which he proposed formation of world government. Over the next decade, he got involved more and more into politics and campaigned for peace and democracy. That is one reason. And his two theories, first talk about two theories. His two theories, that is theory of relativity and the second theory of general theory of relativity.
Huh? You
General
said
theory.
both of them. You said first also this, second also this. Interpretation of gravity.
There are two, special theory of relativity and general theory of relativity. So his general theory of relativity was a groundbreaking work in physics and studied all over the world. You understood whatever I said. Repeat the answer then.
He proposed the general theory of relativity and a special theory of relativity.
Which was a
Groundbreaking
work in physics and studied all over the world. एक हो गया? Then what will you write?
General theory of
Then what will you talk about? By world citizen. For a decade, he got more involved in politics and used his popularity for peace and democracy.
अरे हाँ इससे पढ़ा है यहाँ पे यहाँ पे he got more involved in politics
Used his popularity for peace and democracy,
to campaign for peace and democracy.
and therefore he is called the
Visionary or the world citizen.
visionary and the world citizen. But the answer? Right.
Just to repeat.
Repeat this answer.
Ma'am, the general theory of the general theory of relativity is provided a new interpretation of gravity and this
See,
politics.
his general theory of relativity and special theory. General and special are both theories.
It was a groundbreaking
Was a
work
groundbreaking
in
work in
physics.
physics and studied all over the world. Okay. Second would be
He entered
He
politics.
entered in
He got
politics.
involved in politics and he
campaign for
peace and democracy.
yes, and therefore he is called.
The visionary and world citizen.
Okay, I'll give you two questions. नहीं तुम्हारा कुछ
5 minutes left.
6:15 में हो गए 16 आज इतना लंबा लंबा नहीं बच रहा
तीन लंबा लग रहा है।
मेरे को लंबा लग रहा है बहुत मुझे लग रहा है मैं 3 घंटे से बैठी हूँ ऐसा लग रहा है 3 घंटे भी नहीं बैठी पता नहीं
Right, one question.
क्योंकि 3 घंटे के लिए
Leave it.
how did Einstein react to the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Write down these questions. Next time when we come, you write those answers. If we don't finish it today.
बट उसके वजह लेवल में इरिटेटिंग है कंटीन्यूअस क्लास में आपकी पावर से इरिटेट करते हैं
अजीब बच्चे हो। स्पेशल चाइल्ड हो।
उधर जैन
वो लपड़ाएगा
नहीं।
नहीं इसको नहीं कहा उसको नहीं आती
2 वजह से ना
उधर जैन
चश्मा चश्मिश
चश्मिश
अरे जो जिससे बात आती है।
है वो
यार चश्मिश मत बोलो यार समझा चश्मिश मत बोलो
नहीं ये बोला
नहीं तूने बोला
मैंने चश्मिश नहीं बोला
इसे बोला ना।
मैंने नहीं बोला
मुझे
चश्मिश
नहीं पता
Hello. Write the question.
इससे ज़्यादा बात
हाँ वो है बराबर है
बस
6 से आती है।
नहीं
आती
बचपन से
है
आती है
मेडिकल कंडीशन है हो सकता है मोनी मैम को पता है उसके बारे में मुझे वो सब पता है
नहीं पता है
मैम को पता है
बोलते हैं
मैम ने 8 में उससे बात की है इसके लिए आई
Hello, did you write this question?
ईश्वर को बात क्यों बोली आपने मुझे तो पूछना पड़ेगा और वन thing said इसने दिया
क्या बोला
क्यों आए
तो डेमो भी निकल आएगा क्यों है
अच्छा मानस की
मेरी टीचर ने कभी स्टार्ट किया तो शौक हो जाए
मत
क्या
बोलो
जवान की सेलिब्रिटी है
हो जाता है तू भी
क्या
जाके
है उसकी तारीफ कर दी है तू
वो ही ऐसे शौक क्या होता है उसमें वो वाले था महान
पॉपुलर जोनल ये बनाऊंगा ये
सिर्फ 10 लोगों में होगा
कहा था
सिर्फ 10 लोगों में होगा
नहीं कुछ करना नहीं इससे
मान लो कि 100 के बर्थडे के
सॉरी हीरो
Right now we have to write the answer.
Write at least one. Write down all the questions first.
It's not beautiful. कितने कांड किए हैं?
कान
Yes. And.
Muhammad why did the call is mind beautiful genius question they could have called that really
Mind
genius
because
mind
he was genius because he came up with this discovery of these theories, but at the same time he worked for peace. Later in the later days, he worked for peace. He worked for democracy.
ओवरऑल अच्छा आदमी था
Huh?
नहीं
पूरा नहीं
उसके ना अंदर अंदर भी उसके बहुत सारे ड्रॉबैक्स होंगे ना
बहुत है
nobody is perfect
Write down the questions and next time.
no question I written
We told you lecture at home. Apparently he ignored his children. The children did not have money to survive. Then they all go to
he
school.
treated her like
He did not
pay attention to her
to her and the children.
should make you son
So when you start with your exams? 10.
next Thursday
Next Thursday. So you will not come on next Friday.
no
और ऐसा शेयर
मेरे फ्रेंड्स को पता है किधर आता है क्लासेस के लिए
हाँ बताइए हाँ बताइए
एक और नहीं जानते
What is there to say?
nothing to hide now I'm going to talk about this topic much
I know boys, no?
हम कौन सी ट्यूशन जाते हैं रेगुलरली किसी से बात नहीं करते
सब लोग तो पूछते हैं कौन सी क्लासेस में
उससे एक ही बार पूछते हो जब ये स्टार्ट होता है इकोनॉमिक ईयर स्टार्ट होता है
हाँ
उसके
मैं
बाद
स्टार्ट होता है तब पूछो उसके बाद कोई नहीं पूछता
किसी को मिलते नहीं है ना जल्दी
नहीं लोग पूछते
Tell your other friends.
मैम कोई जो स्कूल टीचर है उनको लेने जाते हैं फिर एनआरएल में जाता है और
क्लासेस में नहीं जाते ना
आकाश में जाते हैं खाते वाले आकाश जाते हैं
वो पहला हाँ लागलं. पोटाला पितळ.
गोट
मुझे तो इंग्लिश में एक जल्दी क्लास टीचर मिले.
हाँ लेते हैं मुझे 6th में बोला था उन्होंने एक बार सर ने मुझे बोला रात को मत
वो मीना ताई के साथ स्टूडेंट आगे वो उनका घर है कोहिनूर में रहते हो नहीं कोहिनूर नहीं कोहिनूर नाश्ता
चौकी
अरे विद्या
जाते थे यार
कोहिनूर बिल्डिंग
अभी बारिश भी हो रही है नए बच्चे के खाई
बाय मैम
पर होने वाली है बाय
बाय